Welcome to the Dispute a Credit Report video series part 4. Now in this video, I'm going to show you the correct way, right? The factual way on how to dispute a inaccurate repossession or what they call a repo on your credit report. Now, if you've ever had a repo or a repossession on your credit report and it's very difficult to get off, then you definitely want to continue watching this video because I'm going to show you a few things that you probably did not know about when it comes to a car repo on your credit report. Now, the methods that I'm going to teach you right now is actually very simple. It's not that difficult, but it's all about education. So if you know education and you know what the law says when it comes to your credit report, because your credit report is more important than anything, then you will be successful when it comes to challenging inaccurate information on your credit report. Are you ready? Let's go. All right, so you want to make sure that you stay on this call all the way through. You want to make sure you stay on this call all the way through because you don't want to miss anything when it comes to challenging repos on your credit report. So the first thing we're going to look at is the credit monitoring report. Now, like I've been saying in all my videos, if you've watched 1 through 3 already, is that the credit bureaus have a duty to report information 100% accurate. So when you look at your credit report, whether it's a monitoring report or whether it's the credit report itself, the credit bureaus have a duty, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, to report 100% accurate on your credit report. Now, if they don't report 100% accurate, then technically the account cannot be on the report. They either got to fix it, repair it, or delete it. So let's take a look at this particular repo. Now, first of all, we need to first identify how do we know that this account is a repo. And the reason why I'm saying that, because sometimes the repo ends up in the charge-off state and it doesn't say repossession on the credit report, but it will say charge-off. Like this one. As you can see right here, it says collection charge-off. Charge-off as a bad debt. Now you may say, well, Mark, shouldn't it say repossession? Yes. Now sometimes it will say repossession and sometimes it will not. Sometimes it will say voluntary repossession. That means you turned in the vehicle, but that doesn't matter. It's still killing your credit score. It doesn't matter whether it's voluntary or involuntary. According to FICO, you could not pay the bill. So therefore, you're not credit worthy because you returned the vehicle. Now, you also look here where it says auto. Account type, auto loan. So right then and there, that tells you that if you put auto loan together and installment together, and you come down here and it says collection or charge off and or repo, then we know it's a repossession. Okay. Now you may argue, you may say, well, Mark, shouldn't it say repo? No, because you didn't pay the balance of what you owe the car. And then it went into charge off status. You see, they sold it. They sold the car in auction. Then they reached out to you and tried to collect the balance and they could not. So they put it in a charge off status. Okay. So the repo can be charged off or it can also say repossession. But see, that's not the point of the credit report. What I wanted to show you is that if you dispute this based on facts and not so much that this is not my repo, which a lot of people do, which is wrong, unless it's really not your repo. If it's really not your repo, then yes, of course you want to dispute it based off that. But if you find technicalities on this particular credit report, then you would dispute based off of that and not so much of the repo, because see, the credit bureaus have a duty. So let's take a look at some of the inconsistencies on this credit report. Let's start with the monthly payment. Right here on TransUnion, it says you owe your payment was $313. But wait a minute, Experian, it says 0. And then again, Equifax says $313. But wait a minute, I thought this was a charge-off. So if this is a charge-off, why do you still have monthly payment there? I'm confused. And not only that, why is it 0 here but $313? Well, which one is it, Credit Bureau? Get it right. You guys understand what I'm saying? Let's look at the date open. 10/19/2015. TransUnion. 10/1 Experian. 10/1 Equifax. But wait a minute. Why are these two different? See, the data is not reporting correctly. It's inconsistent. So you have to challenge based on that. Now let's look at high credit. Okay, TransUnion sent 13,572. Experian sent 13,572. But wait a minute, Equifax is saying 5,764. What is going on here? Who's correct and who's wrong, Credit Bureau? Remember, Credit Bureau, you have a duty to report information correctly. And as you can see, it's not. And again, if you look at the comments, all 3 comments are wrong. Look at that. So already you can dispute based off of this, you can dispute based off of that, you can dispute based off of this, and there's probably more on here that you can dispute. And that's what I call, guys or ladies, factual disputes. So let's keep going. All right, so now another thing you can do is before you send out your dispute letter to the credit bureaus, if you can go based off of the inconsistencies on the credit report, and you can send off your dispute letter if you want. But before you do that, you can also research repossession laws in your state. And then you go through those laws, and then you see if the auto dealer, whoever holds the loan, violated any of the repo laws of your state. Now from there, you can either get an attorney involved and say, hey, look, this creditor who sold me the car, they violated one of these repo laws. And then the lawyer can review it for you and say, yes, they did. So you can use it as leverage when you're negotiating with the creditor if your lawyer sues the creditor for violating a repo law. So now at that point, you may need to get a lawyer involved. And during that negotiation, the creditor may delete or remove that inaccurate reporting because they violated one of the repo laws. So this is another thing you can do. Research your laws in your state when it comes to repossessions. All right. So let's take a look at a letter, a repo letter that you would send to the credit bureau. Dear Credit Bureau, I'm writing this letter in regards to the above referenced repossession account. I'm very upset that you are reporting this inaccurate repossession account on my credit report, as it's really damaging my credit score. The inaccurate listing is a mistake either on your part or the furnisher's part, right? And then this is where you list all the inconsistencies. And I'm giving you the rights right now. You can have this letter. You can send this letter if you want, but I always say modify the letter to fit your own situation. Okay? And this is where you list all the problems that you saw on the credit report, all the inconsistencies on the credit report, or if the creditor violated a repo law, you can list that as well. Please update, modify, or remove any account that is not reporting 100% accurate. Okay? All right, so now let me ask you, when you had a repo on your credit report, how did you deal with it? Just type in the comments for me. How did you deal with the repo? What was the outcome? Did you research the repo laws? Did you get an attorney involved to help you challenge a violation from your state? What did the credit bureau say? What did the creditors say? How did they respond? Go ahead and type in the chat below in the comment. And also, here's what I want to do. I want you to be notified every single time I put out a new video when it comes to credit or your credit report or anything regarding this industry. But the way you're going to get this new video is by subscribing. So if you go ahead and hit the subscribe button right there, right now, and if you're on a phone, you can turn on the notification button. And that way, every time I put out a new video, which I am, you will get notified and get educated on some of my secrets when it comes to dealing with credit bureaus or on the credit report. Now, I would like to introduce to you my credit repair mastery class. Now, this credit repair mastery class is a very, very, very powerful class that hundreds and hundreds, I don't know, I think over 1,000 students have went through my credit repair mastery class already. Here's what I want you to do right now. Somewhere on this screen, there should be a card that you can click on, and this will take you to my credit repair mastery class video where I take you behind the scenes and I show you everything about the credit repair mastery class and why the credit repair mastery class is so powerful. So right now, go ahead and click the card if you see it, or there should be a link inside of the subscription to go to the mastery class to learn how to become a credit repair master, to get your credit score where you want it to be so you can get approved for that home, that car, that job, whatever it is you're trying to get. The credit repair mastery class will definitely help you get there. Again, thank you for watching this video. And if you went through the whole entire series, thank you for watching the entire dispute series. And I hope you got some value from this video and the entire series.